Okay, this is gonna be my only kind of video about this. I wasn't planning to do this. Or maybe I was subconsciously. But for the most part, I don't really do this kind of stuff. Because it's, no one really watches my YouTube channel. I mean, yeah. But still, I like to just kind of post like my own point and my own view, and for anyone willing to listen, I appreciate it. If you're here to just be entertained and not make fun of me, thank you. But I wanted to kind of talk about this game, Mortal Kombat 11. It's a video game made by Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers Studios, and their sister Dot. They all made this game, and it's not that good. This game costs over $100, and it's not good. And the developers just announced that they're not going to do anything more for it. They're done with it. You know, with all the little issues and whatnot. But beyond that, I don't really want to get into like all the little minor stuff. Well, not minor stuff. It's the biggest stuff. Like there's glitches with the characters, the armors. There's just lots of little things that you wouldn't know unless you did play this game like constantly. And I don't play this game constantly. I would play it like every now and then because it's just a game in rotation. And I like fighting games, and I love Mortal Kombat. It's just this one in particular it's been very polarizing. Mortal Kombat 10 was kind of polarizing. Ever since the NRS era of Mortal Kombat games, every game has always been kind of polarizing to me in some way or fashion. Even the injustices. It's just there's always kind of something, and then it's like, well, let's move on to the next project. With Mortal Kombat 9, the DLC characters, to me, on the competitive level, they were like dominating. I was a Jade main, and I had terrible matchups, and one of the worst was against Kenshi. And I just like, and there was never any kind of like, people made a tournament, a mod, a tournament edition to kind of adjust everything. But that was made by the fans. It wasn't made by NRS. So I just feel like, people see it, and they went on to make something for, just try to fix it. But it's hard. It's hard. It's kind of hard to. I don't even know if I remember Mortal Kombat 9 being taken off the Steam store. I don't know, and I don't know much about the mod. I remember it was a project. I don't know if it's still being worked on or what. But besides that, like every NRS game, it feels like you've been getting less and less when you should be getting more. And like I'm sick of pretending that there's not a problem. So I'm just gonna kind of just go through this, kind of just streamline it through, just kind of like train of thought, going through each little, because it's like this is over $100 game, and like this is all you get. You get a story mode. Basic little story mode. Every game kind of has one nowadays. This one's like, what, 2 to 4 hours maybe? Depending on difficulty. 2 to 4 hours of like single matches, mostly. Most of the time they're single matches, I think. Maybe 2 rounds, I forget. I didn't. You could skip the matches too, so who gives a hoot? And all you get from it is unlocking Frost for free, and maybe some costumes or something, some skins, and that's it. And then you pay an extra $100, and you get 2 extra hours of gameplay, and 4 new characters. Well, actually, not really new characters. So yeah, story mode, basic story mode. I played Undertale. I got Undertale for free. I could have paid like $5 for it, and it was like 10 hours of story mode. So yeah, that's $100 for 2 4-hour gameplay experience. Forced to play characters that you don't want to. You're forced to play predetermined characters that you want to be featured in the story, not characters that we want. So that's story mode. This Towers of Time. This is such a BS feature. I hate Towers of Time so much. Towers of Time is complete nonsense. All the skins, rarely you'll find the skin that you want. For if you want a character that's like not just some random that you don't like or pick, it's going to be a while before you'll find characters that actually that you want. I like Frost, so I look for Frost Towers. Is that one? Or is that Melina? That's Katana. Scarlet. And they're just these little kind of these skins, and they don't all look much different from the other ones. Street Fighter Five, Guile looks like a zombie. He looks like Super Soldier. He has a tracksuit. Guile has so many different. All the characters in Street Fighter Five have like lots of really cool, unique little costumes. The only thing better than that are the mods on the PC Street Fighters, but that's impossible on console, so that's irrelevant. On Mortal Kombat, you get all these base. NRS must not have much imagination because they're not making any skins that are like cool to look at or fun. I don't know how miserable it is living in Chicagoland, but come on. There's never any variety in these skins. They all look like little slightly different color variations, all for over $100. And these towers just to unlock dumb, unimportant little minute digital items. All you do is grind, and all you do is just grind fights. And sometimes they're just impossible. Most of the time they're just like easy as heck. But for the most part, they're just like annoying. And the character specific towers can be impossible. Like I'm stuck on Blizzard of Pain. I don't think I can ever beat it. Even with an extra item, it's too hard. And I've given up on it. I've played it over 100 times. And it's not fun, and it's not worth it for the little skin that's not even that much different from any other skin that Frost has. She has like 3 sort of different costumes, and they all kind of suck. So yeah, the towers are terrible, and they're just not fun. Over $100. Classic towers, even more pointless. Sure, it's what you used to play in the arcade, but other than that, it's just grinding fights. There's nothing more to it. It's not like you could just like, people are having fun with these fights anyway. It's just all button mashing and just randomness. This is like the most unfighting, the most unfighting like Mortal Kombat ever. It feels like a party game, like everyone says. It feels like Smash Brothers, but like not fun. Smash Brothers has characters at least I like. I could play as like Banjo or flippin' Cloud, Sonic. I'd rather play as those characters than freaking RoboCop. I'd rather play as those characters than Rambo. Who picked those? Oh, some dads. Some dads at NRS got to pick the characters over everybody else. So we got dead ass freaking characters from the 80s. So this is all Conquer. You can conquer the 2-hour story. You can conquer the 2-minute towers. Or you can conquer the 2 classic towers, I guess. And then there's the crypt. The worst crypt ever. This is by far the most paywallish, scammy, shady crypt I've ever experienced. And it's so lame. The fact that you guys expected people to grind 50 fatalities each just to do this little cryptic little freaking... Where is it at? I can barely see, but I'm going to try to navigate to that area with all the impaled heads. At first, to unlock like other stuff for the characters, you have to like it used to be you had to get 50 fatalities each. But that's impossible. Some people were just getting like a turbo controller and going to towers and cheesing it. But for me, I did that for a bit, but it got really annoying and took really too long. So I just gave up. And eventually they kind of saw that it was stupid to have it to where you had to do it to 50 individual fatalities each in towers. Not online, in towers. If it was online, that'd be awesome. I think it's not online. I don't think they count online. I forget. But I think they have to be specifically in towers. I could be wrong, but either way, it's for each character. Not even just like just doing fatalities in general. You do for each character. And I don't like a lot of these characters. I'm sorry. I know that NRS, I think the game set, I think in their mindset is that they want people to play as every character. They wanted people to like have to force switching characters. Like they don't want you to just play one character that you like. That's why you have characters like Cetrion dominating. So since there's no real counter for Cetrion, they probably expect you to have a mirror Cetrion match, which no one wants to do. They want to play as their main. They don't want to play as another character. I hate that. And I hate that too. I just want to play as characters that I like. I don't like Cetrion. I don't like a lot of the new characters. And I bet NRS is like salty over that. They're salty over the fact that people don't like a lot of their characters. I hate Shiva. I hate that they picked Shiva for DLC. But with the crypt. Oh, this is kind of random, and this happened to me, and I wish I had captured this. But one day, I had a lot of gold just because I don't give a crap about doing this stupid thing. It used to be if you paid over 100,000, you get a random skin for anybody, and it was cool. And now I don't get anything. For a minute, I was getting nothing but Liu Kang skins. Over and over, I kept getting Liu Kang skins for no reason. It was so weird. And now, I don't even get any skins. I get these little pieces, right? Let me try again. I thought that maybe through some fluke, I'd start getting skins again. And I'm not. What is this? Level 2 first. Who gives a hoot? So yeah, this is shenanigans. And NRS would never comment on this. They'll never acknowledge all this kind of fooky stuff because they want to leave this game dead in the water. And that's not fair to me. That's very unprofessional of a game developer. You don't see Blizzard, I mean, as shady, as kind of crappy as Blizzard is a lot of the time. With Overwatch, at least they're constantly trying to like buff and try to keep things sort of balanced, I guess. At least they're trying, like, they're, and this is like, and not just Overwatch. I just use Overwatch as an example, but any game developer now that actively updates and tries to keep their community happy. With NRS, it's so polarizing. It's like they really, really hate us, and they're mad that we're getting on to them. They're mad that we don't like Ed Boon. They're mad that we don't like his trolling, his polarizing, misleading trolling, which isn't cool. But for whatever reason, they think it is, and then they get mad when people don't like it. And it's insane. It's like you live in this like hell world where you see the craziness of these people. Maybe Ed Boon has dementia. I don't know. But that Twitter post calling the fans self-entitled. That's so scummy. That's such a scumbag thing. And I don't think he realizes how scumbaggy he is or how he acts because he's so it's ego. And it's like it's like no one remembers back in the day with Mortal Kombat when Mortal Kombat first kind of died off. No one gave a crap anymore after Annihilation because everyone kind of saw it for what it was. There's not a lot to it. It's just a kind of game about nothing. A tournament that happens. Earthrealm is being invaded by Outer World, and it's like however much they can put into it to make it like look really cool. It's gonna ultimately depend on how the success of it. And most of the time they're successful, but rather than stay on that and try to make it a better game, they'd rather just move on to the next one, whatever they have in store. If they have in store a Marvel versus DC game, I think that's going to be really stupid. I don't think a Marvel versus DC game will be cool at all. I think in like everyone's little baby brain, that idea of it would be cool, but at this point, I think it's dumb. I grew up when Marvel versus DC first had their little annual, and I thought it sucked as a kid. I thought it was terrible. I thought the art was cool. It had a really good. It shows off of like 90s comic book art at that time, but the story was stupid. The fights were stupid, and the fans got the vote, I think, or they didn't. I don't know. Maybe something was fixed, but it wasn't that cool. And I don't think a video game would be any better because I don't really have a lot of fun with these games. Because it's like the company is so polarizing that I don't enjoy the games. Spending over $100 for just a limited experience. Freaking. And this is it. It's just a freaking paywall simulator. A paywall walking simulator. Do I have enough money to pay the next amount of content to enjoy? I guess not. I gotta go grind some more. That's not. You think of your play. You think so little of. You think so little of your fans. You think that you can just like throw fatalities and all this other little stuff in it, and that it's just gonna like. It's gonna be enough. You don't think we're smart enough to like see through this, and then we kind of make this. We make these videos, kind of detailing just how we feel, because there's no way to say it. We can't tweet at you and expect you to listen. So watch me complain, sweating my balls off in this otter fursuit. So that's pretty much freaking the crypt. It's all just, and there's like places where you can get cheap deaths that are pointless because there's nothing to fight, there's nothing to do but just paywall stuff. Pay to unlock more little thingies, little drawings. Look at how much time we spent on this freaking drawing and ultimately became this laughable game, this joke of a fighting game. So that's Conquer. That's everything. This is all your $100. 2-hour story mode, grinding fights, paywall simulator. Is that it? What else is next? Fight mode, local, because that's not happening. COVID destroyed that, so that's irrelevant. Tournament, irrelevant. COVID destroyed it. Online, no Wi-Fi filters. Lots of weirdos. Stupid lag. Stupid lag. Competitive mode is dumb. Competitive mode is dumb. Competitive mode is dumb. Checking online player stats. Combat League is toxic. Stop playing it. I'm not even going to go through with this. AI battle. Whatever. What's so fun about that? It's kind of cool in some ways. I feel like, and the thing is like, a lot of this stuff feels unfinished. I'm sorry, I'm not the game developers, but a lot of, and that's it. That's all $100 worth. That's it. And then you have your practice, staple fighting game stuff. Fatality training, because you really need that still. It's so hard to just put an input at the end because you're so dumb. Tutorial, because we don't know how to play the game, obviously. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, and that's it. That's $100. And then we have our fantastical character roster. Give me a moment to mention everybody respectively. We have Old Man Nostalgia. I didn't get this character, so I don't know their name. Worst character ever. Generational racism. Edgy man. Cuck. Turf. Turf Jr. Jackson. Spoon. Stupid. Ass. Ugly. Stupid. Dumb. Brain dead. Funny. Cool. Lame. 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 Super lame. Why did you nerf her? What the heck? Devora. Gay. Dumb as hell. Dead ass. Kinda cool. Lost potential. Should have never even been in this game. Kinda busted. Should have been in the game at the start. Why? Every character should be like Fujin. And every character should be like Rain. Every character should have the ability to kind of just fly around and do crazy stuff. When people say that some characters play by like Mortal Kombat 11's rules, they mean that you guys gave these other characters other properties that other characters don't have. Like, everyone can kind of just... Characters like Fujin and Jackie can just jump around and do cool... And, like, no one else... Not everyone has, like, kind of unique little things like that. It's like you gave some characters trait, like in Injustice 2. Like, some characters kind of have a trait that makes them... They don't necessarily have... I'm not saying that they have, like, a trait. But they have a little trait, like... Yeah, Fujin can fly around the screen. Not every character can fly. Jackie can jump really high. Not every character can jump really high. Cabal can. And that's where the unbalancement comes from. And it's like no one else can really counter that. Or the game isn't made to, because you have moves banned and we can't actually test it out and try to do different things to try to win against this busted stuff. And when you say that you're done working on it, it's just so discouraging to hear that and have all of the stuff just still intact and expect people just to still play it without like saying anything. So I'm kind of done with characters there because I just don't care. It's like they could have picked. They could have done. They could have just. They couldn't have done what they did. I was playing the Mortal Kombat 11 beta, and it was wonderful for the one day that we got to play it. And then the next thing you know, Mortal Kombat 11's out. It got crunched out, and everyone hates it. So, and now NRS has given up, and they don't even care anymore. And they're moving on, and it's like I said, it's polarizing. It makes you, it looks really bad, and it's like you don't care. And it's just like, as an adult, as a 35-year-old adult male man, it's really, in seeing other game developers not do stuff like this, they don't just like kind of ignore the fans. They kind of try to keep the fans happy. But over in Chicagoland, it's different, I guess. WB Games, the Snyder Cut edition Mortal Kombat will never see the light of day, I guess. So I don't know. And then they called us entitled. Like, ultimately, I was hoping for what Capcom did for Street Fighter V, and kept kind of a healthy. It wasn't so good at the start, but they saw that, and like, I guess Capcom could see their own transparency, and kind of just saw that they were doing crappy stuff, and went through and tried to make the game better. Is it better compared to how it was at the start? I can't say much because I wasn't really playing it at the start, but I'm playing it now. I'm playing Street Fighter V now, and I'm having fun. I'm not having fun playing against Wi-Fi jerks mashing down all day. That's not fun to me. And then I get told that I'm not good, and it's like, it's all polarizing. It's polarizing. You need to look up that word on what polarizing is. When you treat people like garbage just because they have an opinion that's different from you, because they don't think that NRS is actually that good of a video game company, and then you like hate on them, harass them, call them names, tease them. And it's like, I just can't sit back and like twiddle my thumbs like other people. I can't take that. That's not my character. My character is to kind of see through this and see through that this game really isn't that special, and it's not worth over $100 to play. This game should be free. This should be seen like Cyberpunk 2029 or whatever, as an unfinished game. They promised 2 years of support or more, but they're just stopped. I'm glad that they told us rather than stretch it out longer without doing anything, but they just gave up. And that's just bad business. It doesn't matter that it's coming from WB Games. They're not a AAA game making company. They just latch on to IPs and put out games. That's not really, they didn't come from making games from the start. They came from making movies that kind of suck a lot sometimes, but no one talks about that because people are stupid and they'll pay money to see whatever garbage that they can just because they're idiots. Just like people will pay over $100 for basically an unfinished video game that a company can say at any time, well, we're done. You entitled jerks. You expect healthy updates and constant balancing over problematic issues for a game where money is exchanged for gambling purposes? We're not going to listen to you. You're the problem. You're entitled. You're not the fanboy that has been playing Mortal Kombat all their lives and at this point has an issue with it because Ed Boon is a trolly little shady scumbag. Anyway, there's not a lot else I can say about this. I wish there was going to be a comeback. I kind of felt like there wouldn't be one, but you never know. And I was hoping that like people were supporting the game enough that, NRS would have saw through all the bullcrap, and would have just said, we love money, so let's make a Combat Pack 3 and try to make this game better. But they did. They didn't want to. They didn't want to see this game through, and now they're just going to move on to the next one and expect people who aren't seeing what's happening right now. So, if you're someone from NRS and you're watching this video, Paulo, Ed Boon, anybody, I think you guys had the potential to make one of the greatest fighting games ever made. But ultimately, I just don't think that you guys are a competent company enough to keep a healthy fighting game community intact, like Capcom or Namco. I'm not saying Capcom or Namco have the best communities. I'm not saying that at all. But seeing just updates all year for almost 10 years, Street Fighter V and Tekken 7, seeing Guilty Gear Strive, all the love for it, and I don't even play Guilty Gear. When I would go to locals here in Orlando sometimes, I would walk in and I would see so many people playing Tekken 7 and Street Fighter, and I would only see like maybe 5 or so people playing NRS games. I'm not trying to hate on those guys, because I was one of the ones too. Because I'm not good. I don't really play Tekken or Street. I didn't really play them at the Street Fighter or Tekken at the time. I play them now, not a lot. I suck at them, but for like a long time, I just kind of played NRS because I really liked like where they were going with it. I love the competitiveness of it, but like, I don't know if numbers mean anything, but whenever I went, not a lot of people were playing much of Mortal Kombat 10. I think some people were playing 11, but COVID kind of destroyed that at the end, and then it's like we're all just kind of left doing whatever, playing online tournaments and just kind of just going all over the place, trying to deal with the crappy lag, the crappy cheating Wi-Fi people, the lag switchers, all this stuff. And no one at NRS seems to care. It's better to just move on. And it just all seems shady. It all seems very shady, scumbag, misleading. You're trying to cheat me again. All that energy from NRS. So, where was I going with this? What is Dad trying to say to you? Stop trying to cheat me out of my money, you jerks. Alright, that's it. Take care. I give Mortal Kombat 11 for the PlayStation 4, 5, 10. I wish you guys did a better job at making a Mortal Kombat game. And I really don't care if you ever make another one again. Good day.